I used to think leg cramps were just a small inconvenience. Until one night, I watched my 74-year-old mother bolt upright in bed, clutching her calf, her face twisted in pain. She didn't cry out. She just shut her eyes, bit her lip, and held on, riding out a cramp that lasted barely a minute, but felt like a lifetime. That was the moment I realized something. Aging isn't terrifying because of wrinkles or forgetfulness. It becomes scary when we lose control over our own bodies. When standing up takes effort. When restful sleep is interrupted by sudden pain. When every step feels like it could be the one that brings you down. And perhaps most heartbreaking of all? We start calling it normal. But it's not normal. It's your body whispering that something essential is missing. This story isn't just about leg cramps, it's about what they're trying to tell us. It's a message that the muscles we once trusted are now begging for support. That the way we eat, move, rest, and care for ourselves needs a deeper kind of attention. And yes, it's also an opportunity to reclaim control, to heal from the inside out. Aging, when approached mindfully, doesn't have to be a slow descent. It can be a season of restoration, reflection, and renewed intention. True health isn't just the absence of illness. It's feeling steady on your feet, sleeping soundly through the night, knowing, deep in your bones, that your body is being supported, nourished, and listened to. And today, I'll show you a simple, natural, and surprisingly powerful way to start. 3 foods, a few daily habits, and a shift in mindset that could help you feel strong, grounded, and energized again. Let's begin. Eggs, not just for breakfast, the underrated muscle recovery superfood. People don't grow weak because of age. They grow weak because they stop doing the small things that kept them strong. One of those small things? Nourishing the body consistently, simply, and with care. When my mother first entered her 70s, she started eating less. At this age, she'd say, "Too much food makes me tired and bloated." Her breakfast? A piece of toast and a cup of tea. Gentle on the stomach, but missing the very nutrients her muscles were crying out for. Protein, vitamin D, B12, choline. We often think of eggs as nothing more than a convenient breakfast item. But hidden inside each small egg is a complete repair system for aging muscles and nerves. While we sleep, our bodies don't just rest. They recover, rebuild, repair. Especially as we age, our muscles need high quality, easy to absorb protein to prevent atrophy and maintain strength. One large egg delivers 6 grams of complete protein, containing all 9 essential amino acids. For older adults with slower digestion and less efficient absorption, eggs are a godsend, a compact, powerful way to preserve mobility and reduce fatigue. As we age, we tend to spend less time in the sun, due to fragile skin, mobility issues, or simply staying indoors more. But less sun means lower vitamin D, which in turn leads to weaker muscles, slower recovery, and more frequent cramps. Egg yolks naturally contain vitamin D, helping the body absorb calcium and regulate muscle contractions. A breakfast with eggs isn't just filling, it's replenishing the sunlight your muscles may be missing. Without enough B12, nerve signals weaken. That's why older adults often experience tingling, cramping, or misfiring muscle contractions. Eggs offer easily digestible B12, making them ideal for seniors who may not absorb the nutrient well from meat or dairy. And for vegetarians who still eat eggs and dairy, eggs become an essential ally in preventing nerve-related cramps. After a little encouragement, my mother started eating 1 egg each morning. Just 1. Paired with steamed greens and a slice of whole grain toast, it became her new routine. Within 3 weeks, something shifted. She was sleeping through the night. The cramps had faded. Her mornings became smoother. She even started walking again, just 10 minutes a day, but enough to see a glimmer of her old self returning. Healing doesn't come from dramatic changes. It comes from small things, done repeatedly, with love and intention. So if you're wondering where to begin, how to rebuild strength without overwhelm, begin with an egg. Humble, unassuming, but powerful, just like the body that's still fighting to support you. Even now, when your body starts to feel better, so does your outlook. You begin to realize, you're not getting older, you're coming back to yourself. And that's when the deeper questions arise. Am I really listening to what my body is telling me? Am I nourishing it? Or just getting by? Let's move on to the next essential ally. Not just a fruit, but an electrical bridge between your muscles and your brain. The one that can calm nighttime cramps, boost hydration, and restore movement. Let's talk about bananas. Bananas, nature's electrolyte pill, but only if you eat them right. A cramp is not just a muscle tightening. It's your body's way of calling for balance. That balance, for many, begins with potassium, And few things embody potassium more humbly or more perfectly than a simple banana. But as with everything in life, timing, context, and intention matter. A banana, eaten wrong, can spike your blood sugar. A banana, eaten right, can soothe your nerves, hydrate your muscles, and restore your inner rhythm. And that's what this story is about, not just what you eat, but how you treat what you eat. Every muscle movement, every blink, every heartbeat, every step, relies on electrical signals sent through nerves to muscles. And potassium is the mineral that allows those signals to fire cleanly. Without enough potassium, those signals stutter. Muscles misfire. You cramp. You twitch. You ache. One medium banana contains around 420 milligrams of potassium, roughly 12% of your daily need. And unlike pills or powders, nature packages it with magnesium, vitamin B6, fiber, and water, everything your muscles need to relax, reset, and recover. But here's what most people miss. Bananas aren't magic on their own. They only work if the rest of your lifestyle makes room for healing. I once spoke to a retired jazz musician named Harold, age 76. Every night, at exactly 3:17 a.m., his leg would seize with pain. No matter how he slept. No matter what he stretched. He tried magnesium tablets. Didn't help. Tried sports drinks. Made it worse. Then, one night, his wife gave him a banana, 90 minutes before bedtime, with a glass of warm water and a pinch of sea salt. That night, the cramp didn't come. Or the next. Or the next. He called it the jazz banana, said it brought his rhythm back. Why bananas work best at night, but not always. Potassium calms muscle contractions. Magnesium smooths nerve signals. Vitamin B6 helps generate red blood cells and carry oxygen to your muscles. Natural sugars help deliver those nutrients into your cells, but only when balanced. If you eat a banana too fast, on an empty stomach, or alongside nothing else, it can spike blood sugar. But pair it with a handful of walnuts or a spoonful of almond butter, and suddenly, it becomes a slow-release healer. Bananas are brilliant, but only when respected. Just like your body. What most people get wrong. Eating 3 bananas a day thinking more is better but ending up bloated, gassy, or with sugar crashes. Using bananas as a quick fix instead of part of a balanced approach. Forgetting to hydrate. Bananas help, but they're not water. Without fluids, even potassium can't do its job. And perhaps most of all, thinking healing must be complicated. Sometimes, the answer is just a fruit. But eaten mindfully, Harold's nightly ritual became his act of self-respect. 1 banana. 1 glass of water. 1 moment of calm before bed. He called it feeding the future body, not the one that's stiff today, but the one he wants to wake up with tomorrow. That's what healing is. It's believing in the version of yourself you haven't met yet, and treating it like it's already here. We don't age because time passes. We age when we stop learning how to adapt. Bananas are more than food. They're a reminder that nature is trying to help, if we're willing to meet it halfway. Eat one slowly. Drink water with it. Be present. And watch how even the smallest changes ripple through your body like music. As potassium heals from the inside, there's something else that works quietly, powerfully, on the surface of your cells, your nerves, your blood vessels. Seeds. Tiny. Overlooked. Yet packed with magnesium, good fats, and anti-inflammatory power. If bananas are the body's battery, seeds are the wiring system, the connectors, the quiet guardians that help muscles fire smoothly, without pain. In the next part, we'll talk about how a single handful of nuts and seeds can unlock mobility, prevent cramps, and rebuild your body from the inside out. Let's keep going. Nuts and seeds, tiny powerhouses that rewire your muscles and nerves. Sometimes, the smallest things hold the greatest strength. A seed may fit in your palm, but it carries the potential of a forest. In many ways, our bodies are just like that. They don't break down suddenly, they wear down silently. And the repair, too, comes not through explosions, but through the quiet power of consistency. Nuts and seeds don't shout for attention. They don't have shiny packaging or trendy slogans. But inside each one is a micro-laboratory of healing: magnesium, potassium, healthy fats, protein, and anti-inflammatory agents, working together in silence to restore strength where we need it most. You see, muscles don't move on their own. They rely on a complex communication network, electrolytes, nerves, and cellular fuel, to contract and release, again and again. And when magnesium runs low, the signals get messy. Muscles tighten, then seize. When potassium drops, the electric charge falters. And without enough healthy fats, blood vessels narrow, inflammation creeps in, and repair slows to a crawl. Nuts and seeds rebuild the grid. They recharge the lines. They rewire the messages between nerve and muscle, so your body can move not with struggle, but with rhythm. Let's break it down. A single ounce, just a small handful, of certain nuts and seeds provides. Pumpkin seeds, 168 mg magnesium. Almonds, 77 mg magnesium plus 200 mg potassium. Pistachios, 290 mg potassium. Walnuts, rich in omega-3s, reducing muscle inflammation. Flax and chia, plant-based anti-inflammatory oils plus fiber. Each one brings a piece of the puzzle. Together, they become a formula, a natural prescription for muscle cramps, nerve misfires, and fatigue. But only if you make them a ritual. Only if you give them time to do their work. Let me tell you about Irene. She was 71, a former ballet teacher, now struggling with arthritis, muscle cramps, and persistent fatigue. She felt like her body had betrayed her, a once dancer now afraid of walking stairs. I suggested a change not in pills, but in snacks. A daily mix, pumpkin seeds, walnuts, and dried tart cherries. Mid-morning, every day. She called it her movement medicine. 3 weeks in, she didn't need her handrail for every step. 6 weeks later, she was back in the studio, teaching a slow, seated class for seniors. Her voice cracked when she told me, "I thought I'd never feel fluid again." But it was never about going back. It was about finding new ways to move forward. The body is not broken. It's just waiting for the right tools to repair itself. Nuts and seeds don't promise instant results. They don't fix in one bite what took years to wear down. But with daily care, they quietly rebuild the bridges between your intention and your ability. And with every handful, you're not just feeding the body. You're sending a message to yourself. I am worth the effort. My movement is sacred. My energy deserves support. That kind of nourishment goes far beyond food. Overeating. Nuts are nutrient-rich but calorie-dense. More isn't better. Stick to one small handful, about 1 ounce, per day. Choosing salted or processed varieties. Added sodium contributes to dehydration, counterproductive for cramps. Forgetting to pair them wisely. Nuts go best with hydration and fiber-rich meals, like in oatmeal, salads, or smoothies. Ignoring allergies or sensitivities. Listen to your body. There's always an alternative: sunflower seeds, pumpkin, flax, chia. You don't need a grand gesture to rebuild a strong body. You need small truths, repeated daily, with love. And in every spoonful of chia, every almond you chew mindfully, you are sowing seeds not just for health, but for resilience, presence, and self-trust. Because healing is never really about the muscle. It's about the message. And the message is this: you're not done. You're rebuilding. Quietly. Powerfully. But as strong as seeds are, their power can only bloom in the right soil. And that soil is hydration. Because without water, even the richest nutrients lose their way. Without electrolytes, even the strongest muscles falter. Water doesn't just quench thirst. It carries life. And in the next part, we'll talk about how the quiet loss of hydration in older adults leads to cramps, fatigue, and fog. And how to reclaim your inner flow, one sip at a time. Let's keep going. Water and electrolyte balance, the most overlooked factor in nighttime cramping. We don't just dry out with age. We forget how to flow. In the quiet hours of the night, when the world is still, many older adults are jolted awake by a sudden cramp, sharp, unrelenting, almost cruel. And the first question that arises is, why now? What did I do wrong? Often, it's not what you did. It's what you forgot. You forgot to drink. You forgot to replenish. You forgot that your body, just like your soul, needs flow to thrive. As we grow older, our sense of thirst diminishes, not because we don't need water, but because the body stops asking as loudly. We move less, sweat less, drink less. And yet, every organ, every muscle, every nerve still needs water to communicate, stretch, contract, release. Even a 1 to 2% drop in body water can disturb electrolyte balance, disrupt muscle function, and lead to night cramps. But this isn't just about drinking more. This is about how water and minerals work together, like a symphony. Sodium holds water in the body. Too much causes swelling, too little causes cramps. Potassium helps conduct muscle contractions. Magnesium calms nerves and relaxes muscles. And water carries all of it to where it needs to go. Without balance, the signals misfire. Your calf cramps at 2 a.m. Your fingers twitch for no reason. Your thoughts feel foggy. And you blame it on getting older. But really, it's a wiring issue. And hydration is the missing fuse. Pouring liquid emoji, a real story, the water that changed everything. Edith, age 81, had a ritual. She'd sip black tea all day, every day, but never water. She called water boring, said it made her feel bloated. But her cramps were worsening. Her blood pressure meds were depleting potassium. Her legs were stiff in the morning and painful at night. We didn't ask her to drink 8 glasses. We asked her to space out 6 small glasses, one with a pinch of sea salt, one with a splash of lemon, one alongside a banana, one after stretching. 3 weeks in, no more 3 a.m. spasms. Instead of waking in pain, she began waking in peace. She smiled and said, "Turns out, water wasn't boring. I just wasn't listening to how thirsty I'd become." We wait for thirst the way we wait for regret, too late, too reactive, too costly. Your body is a river, not a machine. It needs movement. It needs minerals. It needs rhythm. Drinking water isn't a task. It's a form of self-respect. Adding a pinch of salt or a splash of coconut water isn't indulgent. It's precision. It's wisdom. The mistake isn't forgetting to drink. The mistake is believing it's optional. Common mistakes to avoid drinking only when thirsty. At older ages, thirst no longer correlates to hydration needs. Relying solely on tea or coffee, caffeine can act as a diuretic and worsen fluid loss. Drinking too much at once, better to sip throughout the day than gulp once. Neglecting electrolytes, pure water is important, but minerals matter, especially with medications that deplete them. The same way a tree cannot stand tall without its roots being watered, a human cannot move with grace if the currents within them have gone dry. To those who feel stiff, foggy, or heavy, this is your call to flow again. Hydrate. Mindfully. Daily. With reverence. Feel your muscles loosen, your skin glow, your mind clear. Water doesn't just quench. It delivers. Oxygen. Nutrients. Healing. Clarity. Now that you've restored your river, it's time to let it move. Because hydration prepares the soil, but it's movement that plants the seeds of strength. In the next part, we'll explore how simple stretching, intentional circulation, and low-impact routines can awaken your limbs, prevent cramps, and return a sense of lightness and control to your daily life. Your muscles are waiting. Let's begin the dance. Stretching and circulation, move it or cramp it. Stillness is not rest. It's the slow erosion of what once moved freely. There's a moment in life, not marked by birthdays or gray hairs, when you begin to hesitate before standing up. You test your footing. You reach for something. You pause, not because you're tired, but because your body feels uncertain. This hesitation is not weakness. It's a message. A whisper from deep within your blood and bones. I need movement. I need flow. Muscles don't cramp because they're bad. They cramp because they've been forgotten. When we sit for too long, on couches, in cars, at dinner tables, blood pools. Muscles stiffen. Nerves go quiet. And then, in the middle of the night or at the first sudden movement, they revolt. The solution isn't complicated. It's not a machine or a pill. It's movement. Gentle. Intentional. Repeated. Because blood is the vehicle of oxygen, of nutrients, of warmth. And movement is the pump. I once met a woman named Ruth, 68, a retired librarian. She used to walk 5 miles a day. Now she dreaded climbing stairs. Every night, she would get calf cramps so severe she once called them punishment for living. Together, we created a simple 5-minute stretch routine before bed. Calf stretch against a wall. Toe raises while brushing her teeth. Gentle ankle circles in bed. Leg shakeouts before sleep. 1 deep breath with each movement. She did it every night for 2 weeks. Then one morning she wrote me. I didn't just stop cramping. I started trusting my legs again. Every active movement is an act of hope. Hope that you'll walk farther. Sleep deeper. Rise easier. Your body is not angry at you. It's waiting for your return. And stretching, gentle, forgiving, daily, is how we come home to our muscles. Not to force them, but to remind them, I'm still here. I still care. The do's and don'ts of cramp fighting movement do. Stretch before bed and after waking. These are the 2 tightest moments of the day. Keep it gentle, think flowing, not forcing. Pair stretching with breath. Inhale lengthens, exhale releases. Don't bounce or jerk during stretches. Ignore pain. If it hurts, ease off. Assume 1 session is enough. Consistency rewires memory. Stretching is not just physical. It's a practice of discipline, gratitude, and belief. Discipline to show up every day. Gratitude for what your body still does. Belief that it's never too late to move again. You may not run marathons, but if you can walk with intention, you're already reclaiming more than strength. You're reclaiming dignity. Not all cramps are innocent. Some are clues. Some are cries. Some are red flags disguised as twinges. Because while many cramps are just a call for movement or minerals, some are signals of deeper issues. In the next part, we'll explore the dangerous cramps, the ones that come with numbness, the ones tied to circulation disorders, the ones linked to medications, nerves, or even heart health. And we'll talk about when it's time to stop stretching and start investigating. Your body speaks. Let's learn its language. When it's not just a cramp, warning signs of serious health issues. Pain is not the enemy. Silence is. A cramp, in its simplest form, is a message. Sometimes it's whispering, you forgot to hydrate. Sometimes it's nudging, you've been still too long. But other times, it's not a nudge. It's a flare. And if we ignore it, we risk missing something deeper, something far more urgent than tight muscles or sore legs. Because sometimes, a cramp is not just a cramp. It's the first sign of a circulatory issue, a nerve disorder, or a silent internal imbalance trying to surface before it's too late. When to worry. 5 red flags. Your cramp is a warning. Persistent cramping in one leg only may indicate deep vein thrombosis, DVT, a blood clot that can become life-threatening. Cramps with numbness or tingling could signal nerve compression, diabetic neuropathy, or even spinal issues. Sudden cramps after starting new medication, common with diuretics, statins, or blood pressure drugs that deplete potassium or magnesium. Muscle cramps accompanied by swelling, skin discoloration, or coldness in the limb could be signs of poor circulation or arterial blockage. Cramps that come with shortness of breath or chest discomfort may be related to cardiovascular strain and needs immediate medical attention. Not every cramp is dangerous. But ignoring the ones that are? That's a risk you shouldn't take. George was 73. Healthy. Fit. Played golf twice a week. One night, he woke up with a cramp in his left calf, nothing new. But this time, it lingered. The leg felt heavier. A bit swollen. A bit red. His wife insisted he get checked. It was DVT. A silent clot. If left untreated, it could have traveled to his lungs. That cramp, the one he might have brushed off, ended up saving his life. Pain told me something was wrong, he later said. And for once, I listened. We're taught to push through pain. But growing wiser means knowing when to pause. There's strength in stillness. There's courage in asking, is this normal for me? Has something changed? Do I trust my instincts enough to check? Your body isn't punishing you. It's informing you. It's asking for attention, not judgment. The wiser we become, the more we realize. Healing begins where awareness starts. Track your symptoms, duration, frequency, side, associated sensations. Bring a list of medications to your doctor, many cause cramps indirectly. Don't self-diagnose. Google doesn't know your body, but a good physician can read the signs you miss. Trust your gut. If a cramp feels different, it probably is. So many seniors suffer in silence. They downplay the discomfort. They think, I don't want to be a burden. But here's the truth. You are not a burden. You are someone whose story is still being written. And every word of it matters. If something feels off, say something. Not because you're fearful, but because you are wise, aware, and worthy of protection. All this talk about symptoms, danger, and vigilance might feel heavy. But here's the beauty, every warning is also an invitation. To slow down. To realign. To take ownership. And in our final part, we'll shift from fear to power. From pain to purpose. We'll talk about what it truly means to reclaim your strength, day by day, not just with food or movement, but with identity, discipline, and a new relationship with aging itself. Let's turn the page, together. Reclaiming strength, a new relationship with aging, muscle, and self-trust. You don't lose strength because you age. You lose strength when you stop believing you still have it. That belief, the quiet trust in your body's ability to come back, is what truly changes everything. Because aging, at its core, isn't a sentence. It's a season. And just like autumn sheds the leaves so winter can rest and spring can rise, aging gives us a sacred opportunity to rebuild from within. To move slower, but deeper. To choose not speed, but substance. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not too old to begin again. What if we saw the body not as a machine that wears out, but as a garden that needs different care in different seasons? Muscles may change, but they don't forget. And when given nutrients, hydration, movement, attention, and care, they respond. Every stretch. Every egg. Every sip of water. Every step. It all adds up. Not into perfection, but into power. There was a man named Carlos. 82. Widower. Former carpenter. He told me he hadn't done a push-up in 40 years. Said, "What's the point?" But something shifted after a cramp left him limping for 2 days. He started small, 1 wall push-up a day. Then 2. Then 5. Then walking to the end of his driveway, just to feel the sun. Then tracking water, eating better, stretching slowly. 6 months later, he sent a photo, him smiling, holding a 5-pound dumbbell. "This isn't about the weight," he said. "It's about the part of me I thought I'd lost. This is not about muscles alone. This is about reclaiming sovereignty over your body. Your mornings. Your confidence. Your sense of rhythm, of possibility, of agency. Strength is not how much you lift. Strength is how gently you rise after you've fallen. How firmly you believe that your body still deserves your attention. And how often you show up for yourself, even when no one's watching. This isn't a program. It's a practice. A relationship. Between you and the one person you'll always live with, yourself. We often think of aging as an ending. But what if it's just a different kind of growth? Not louder, but deeper. Not faster, but wiser. Not about adding more, but returning to what truly matters. Your ability to move with grace, to breathe with awareness, to choose foods with care, to listen when your body whispers, and to love this version of yourself, fully. You are not the age in your passport. You are the energy in your cells. And energy is always shifting, always capable of renewal. So now, the question is no longer, why do I cramp? It becomes, what will I do with the body I still have? With the time I still hold? With the strength that is still mine to reclaim? Because the answers have been here, all along. A simple egg. A ripe banana. A handful of seeds. A glass of water. A gentle stretch. A conscious breath. A single, steady choice. Repeated. That is how we rebuild strength, not by fighting age, but by partnering with it. You are still growing. You are still learning. You are still becoming. And that quiet, powerful decision to show up for your body, every day, in every small way, is the most courageous act of love you can offer yourself. So rise. Stretch. Breathe. Eat with care. Rest with intention. Move with gratitude. And remember, this body may be aging. But this spirit is just getting started.